Well, hi. Why is my screen black? That was spooky. I don't know why that just happened. Hi. Welcome to Elden Ring. I did a big 2-hour-long recap. Most of the things in that 2-hour-long recap are still relevant to what's happening in this game. You can watch it here for VOD watchers. You can watch it here. For Twitch watchers, it's linked in the announcements channel of the Discord. But you can watch it here, VOD watchers. The things that weren't covered in that is a lot of stuff about the land of the dragons, crumbling Farum Azula. Long ago, before the events of the game and before even recorded history, the land of crumbling Farum Azula, which is this area that you're looking at right here, was actually a land bridge around right here over to this region. Probably more close to the mountaintops. However, a meteor crashed into the world and caused Farum Azula to be lifted into the sky. We don't know what this meteor necessarily was, but there's a lot of examples of meteors crashing into the planet throughout the game, with two big notable ones being something called an Elden Beast, and something called Meter, Mother of Fingers, who we met in the DLC. But long ago, this land that is right there used to be in this region right here as a land bridge, as well as the realm of Shadow. This area, the DLC, also used to be in this region right here. So this whole section of the map, probably about where this little nipple is, used to be land of Farum Azula and the Shadow Realm. All of this area used to be that. However, over time, after Farum Azula got lifted into the sky, this land became... The land that we see as the lands between has shifted. Since the events of Mesmer's crusade and all that stuff, thousands upon thousands of years have passed. And because of that, tectonic plates shift, Pangea, so on and so forth, the land of the lands between looks different today than it looked then. However, we have certain evidence that there's a lot of evidence of what I just said, that the lands have shifted. One of them, which is pretty notable to today, we, a Tarnished soldier, were a member of Godfrey's army. Godfrey's army, the first Elden Lord, did multiple wars throughout his I'm going to call it a crusade. I don't know if that's the wording they use. Throughout his crusade. The first being the war with the giants, where he defeated the fire giants, where only one was left standing to tend the forge, and Marika herself slayed the fell god. We know that she didn't slay the fell god because we met the fell god when we fought the fire giant, so the fell god is still up there somewhere, but regardless, we defeated the last fire giant and finished the job that Godfrey started. There's other sword graves throughout the map where Godfrey did his crusade, did his journey. Now, notably, where a lot of them are is this lower section of the map, down here. The reason that they're down here and not over in Liurnia is because, again, there used to be a land bridge here where Godfrey could have marched his soldiers down to this area and done his war down here, while completely avoiding Liurnia, where theoretically, while he was marching his soldiers and doing the crusade down here in order to get everyone to submit to the Erd Tree and the Golden Order, theoretically, Radagon and his soldiers were fighting Renala and the Academy in Liurnia. So these things could have been happening at the same time. These things could have happened at different times. We don't necessarily know. What is true at the very least is that when this happened, this crumbling Farum Azula used to be there, and now it isn't. Another thing that I actually learned hours before this stream today, so the timeline was wrong about, maybe. Throughout the map, because this place is called Crumbling Farum Azula, and it got launched into the sky by a meteor, throughout the game, you can see remnants of Farum Azula in places. Remnants of the ruins. Now there's an ad, so I'm going to wait. As I was saying. Throughout the main game, there is remnants of ruins of Farum Azula. There's little bits and pieces of Farum Azula's architecture laying throughout the map, and it's throughout the entire game. Like, I just zoomed in over here to Limgrave, can remember the name, but like there's remnants of it in Caelid a little bit, but most notably over here because a lot of that's been like destroyed. In Liurnia, there's a whole bunch of remnants of this Farum Azula ruins. Even in the Atlas Plateau, there's a little bit as well. So, because that exists in the Lands Between, that tells us that the land of Farum Azula was launched into the sky and bits and pieces were strewn throughout here. However, if we look at the Shadow Realm, there is notably no ruins here. Now, we don't necessarily know where the Land of Shadow is in context to the world. We don't know where it used to be. We can kind of, like, guess that it was probably right here, you know? Because they do say that it's the center of the Lands Between. So we could kind of guess that it used to be in this kind of region, with the Farum Azula kind of being over here, right? But we don't know. So because there's no ruins in this area, maybe I had the timeline a little wrong, and maybe the Realm of Shadow was skidooed away before Farum Azula was launched into the sky. Maybe. It's definitely not a confirmation, but it is something of note that I wanted to bring up to you. Another thing that we learned since we did that recap is we found an item called the Cincadea. The Cincadea is the weapon used by the boss that you're about to see, that I'm just going to walk into today. We're going to come back and fight him in a minute. But he's using the Cincadea. Why there's two of them? I don't know. There's two hands. Short sword given to a high-ranking clergyman of Farum Azula, rages potency of bestial incantations. The design celebrates a beast's 5 fingers, a symbolic intelligence once granted upon their kind. This item tells us that the beasts have intelligence, but they gained intelligence over time by being given a 5th finger, being granted a 5th finger. It's not that they evolved to have a 5th finger. It's not that it was granted to them. This is something that was granted to them. An entity or a person or something granted the 5th finger to them, granting them intelligence. Or maybe they granted them intelligence and the 5th finger evolved because of that. Either way, regardless. We also have an incantation right here. Where's the bestial stuff? That's not the bestial stuff. Where's the bestial stuff? Right here, that says, having gained intelligence, the beasts must have felt how their wildness slipped away as civilization took hold. So this confirms something different. So we have one item saying that the beasts were granted intelligence. We have another item that displays that in a way that isn't fully positive. One item is like, hey, this is a positive thing. The other is like, hey, this isn't all positive. Losing their bestial nature was a bit of was a negative as much as it was a positive. It's a give and take. I'm forgetting something. On top of that, we also talked about the where's my words? how the tree sentinels took up draconic form in order to fight against the dragons in Leyndell during the dragon attack. And lastly, we looked at how there is dragons strewn into the wall, and they are very clearly ancient dragons, but the heads aren't ancient dragon heads. They're a little different. And that tells us something very important that I can't tell you yet. And I lied. This is actually the last thing before we dive into the game of things that we've learned that I'm very quickly recapping for you. You can see here, even though we're in the dragon area where there is only beastmen, we've only seen beastmen. Beastmen are this guy over here. That guy. See him? See him over there? We've only seen beastmen like that. And yet, here's a statue that depicts a human. And even more so down here and in multiple different places, strewn into the wall, I don't know if strewn's the word, etched into the wall, there is statues of humanoid figures. Not beastmen, humanoids. So, when Farum Azula was on the ground and being built, there had to have been humans present who helped build this thing. It couldn't have just been beastmen. And it couldn't have just been ancient dragons. The reason it couldn't have just been ancient dragons is because this stairway exists that an ancient dragon couldn't have gone through. So, all of that put together, the beastmen eventually were granted intelligence. However, there were also humans existing, either after or during this time, that also had 5 fingers in intelligence that existed to build this area. Maybe not the entirety of it, but some of it. There's also evidence, once again, that this area was lifted into out of the ground way later than I thought it was, because there is evidence that Godfrey used it in order to enter Caelid in this area, while Radagon went and fought against the Carrion family. So, on top of that, once again, the Shadow Realm used to be maybe in this region, maybe instead over here. We don't fucking know. And I think that's everything we learned beyond the recap for now. Yeah. Any questions, chat? Alright. We're gonna walk in here just so I can show you something, but we're not going to fight him right now. We were 30 attempts in. We were 30 attempts into this boss. But we're not going to fight him right now. We're going to hold off for a second before we dive in. But I want to show you something. I'm going to very quickly find my... that. Okay. All I want to show you... See that wall right there? See how it looks like a fucking Elden Ring? See how that looks like a fucking Elden Ring? It's not just like a fucking symbol. That's a fucking Elden Ring with a whole bunch of roots. See that? You see that right there? It's like a big-ass fucking Elden Ring with 5 million roots. There's a lady that is, like, being surrounded by wolves. Look at that. Look at that. See that right there? It's even got the rune of death going down it. See that? Alright, that's all I wanted to show you. Now we can continue. So, during this time, when the dragons existed, when the dragons were probably like the ruling force over this land, they had an Elden Ring. that implies some things. Firstly, it would mean the Elden Ring had to be present on the land, which we know existed because of a meteor. That meteor couldn't have been the same meteor that lifted this land up into the air, theoretically, because they had access to that Elden Ring. Beyond that, the existence of the Elden Ring implies the existence of the Greater Will. Perhaps the Greater Will was the dragon god all along, and the dragon god that is the Greater Will is the one that gave intelligence to the Beastmen. Even if the Greater Will isn't the one that held the Elden Ring at that time, even if the dragon god that these people worshipped wasn't the Greater Will and was instead a different god, it is of high likelihood that the Greater Will is the entity that gave the Beastmen their fifth finger. Because it's clear the Greater Will has an obsession with fingers, right? He talks through the 2 fingers, he hates the 3 fingers, 4 fingers he's okay with, and 5 fingers is ideal. It's clear that he likes fingers. I took that from Vadi. He's into fingering, right? So, maybe the Greater Will is the one that granted intelligence to these Beastmen, despite he himself, or they themselves, not having rule over this land. We don't know yet. We will fight that boss in a minute. I just wanted to show you that. We'll talk more about the Lady and the Wolves and even the Elden Ring itself when we defeat that boss. But I wanted you to see that so that we could go do something else real quick before we defeat that boss, which is main story, before we continue main story. Remember this. Do not forget this. Remember this. Am I being followed? No. I missed. It wasn't there. It was the wrong spot. So in the original cut of this game, there was dialogue about how people get up to Farum Azula, because obviously we've seen the Dragon Sentinel, we've seen Burnal, like, we've seen other, like, Tarnished and humanoids up here, right? And there's a whole bunch of dead bodies everywhere that were humanoids, so it's like... in the cut content, it was people get spirited up here. It was people get spirited up here if they have, like, a hope to be here kind of thing. It's more specific than that, but I can't remember the exact wording. And you heard the line that Melina said of thy who seek the rune of destined death shall be on the trail of it, or something. Like, I think it was like, ye who burn the Erd tree will be on the road of destined death, or something like that. I can't remember. So that was us hoping to be here, so we were teleported here kind of thing. Kind of like a remnant of that content. However, there's also this. Now, as we spoke about before I press the Y button, you can see that there's folk in the ground here. This whole area is a big ass fucking catacomb, which we spoke about. On top of that, we also seen instances of some dragons glued into the wall as well. We also learned that through this right here, the ancient Dragon Lord's seat is said to lie beyond time. This stone lightly twists time, allowing the creation of a weapon capable of slaying a god. Now, you're about to see why that's notable. And it might be the reason why this whole area is floating in the sky, because of that time fuckery nature of the dragons that are inside of the wall. But, more importantly to right now, we're going to lie down and become part of that architecture. In the future, please don't redeem things in the middle of cutscenes. Thank you. So you see here, this is a big fucking dog. And notably, it is twisted up. Sorry. They are twisted up and facing towards the sky in a two-prong nature. This mirrors something we seen long ago, where there was the two fingers inside of the round table hold that were also pointing up towards the sky in an insanely similar nature. We've seen the two fingers do that, trying to contact the greater will. Now we see this ancient dragon doing the same, also looking like it may be cradling a baby kind of thing? Maybe. Don't know. Regardless, as we get closer, I want you to notice that this dragon originally had 5 heads, but there are multiple necks strewn throughout their body, both male and female, that are missing. There are multiple heads that are missing. In the DLC, we learned about a character named Bale. Bale was said to have a battle with the... Yeah, that guy. That Egon yelling at him. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, that guy right there. Bale was said to have a battle with Placidusax, where both of them received mortal wounds. Bale being his leg and also a wing, and now Placidusax missing multiple heads. Without further ado, let's finish the job. So what you're witnessing right here, chat, is the actual first Elden Lord. Not Godfrey, not Radagon, but the actual first Elden Lord that we know of. Oh, I just got so fucking lucky. Seems to have seen better days. There, they. They are one, they are many. Woof! One. Oh yeah, I also should point out. Is he gonna do the whole cutscene again? You think? Huh. We're inside that tornado now. Actually, you've seen the boss. I'm free to wait a minute. Long ago, we got grasped by the three fingers. This did three things to us. Firstly, it burned our body with its grasp. So now we have these burn marks all over, and on the front, you can see the fingerprints of the three fingers. It also caused our eyes to turn this yellow color of frenzy. Because the third thing that it did is it devoted ourselves to the frenzied god, the god of frenzy, and locked us into an ending. This ending, according to Hyetta, this ending, or actually according to Shabriri, I think, one of the two, this ending will result in us burning it all away. We will burn everything. We will burn the lands between, we will burn down the Erd Tree, and we will return everything to the primordial chaos that is the One Great, destroying everything the Greater Will, the Golden Order, and whoever else built on the lands between, and returning it to its primordial form of fire, magma, and ash, burning the world with the chaos flame. However, if we don't want that ending, and I'm about to make a poll so that you have to decide, we have an item called Miquella's Needle. We achieved this needle because we did a storyline starring a character named Millicent, which led to us fighting and defeating Melania, which upgraded this needle from a unalloyed gold needle to Miquella's Needle. Miquella's Needle reads, one of the unalloyed gold needles that Miquella crafted to ward away the meddling of outer gods. Capable of subduing the flame of frenzy if inherited, or in Melania's case, the Scarlet Rot, allowing one to cheat fate and avoid becoming Lord of Frenzied Flame. However, the needle is as yet unfinished and can only be used in the heart of the storm beyond time, said to be found in Farum Azula. Miquella created this needle for his sister, hoping to push away the god of Scarlet Rot. However, the needle was incomplete and never could do that. The needle could never push away the Scarlet Rot completely. It could only fend it off for a short time. However, the final ingredient that it needed was time. Now we are here within a tornado beyond time. The final ingredient was time. We have the option to use this needle and to push away the god of the god of frenzy. We can push it away and avoid our fate as the Lord of Frenzied. So rather than burning it all away in the chaos flame, we can instead go away from that and marry Ronnie and go for the Lord of Stars ending. We've already done the Lord of Stars ending in our original playthrough. However, most of you weren't here, and in my opinion, it's the canon ending. But I will leave it up to you of what direction you want to go. Do you want to burn it all down, or do you want to move? Let me reword. Would you like to bring the Lands Between into an age of yellow flame, or would you like to bring the Lands Between into an age of stars? The poll has been made. The votes will be cast. And until it is done, I will kick this boss's ass. I'm a poet. What can I say? What can I say? Can I get some snaps? Can I, you know? No? Okay. Early. The head got me? Dang. Whoa. Notice the yellow fire? The flames of piss! Attack with the flames of urine! Oh shit. And away he goes. Sorry, they go. They are multiple. They are many. I'm surprised that hit me. Not surprised that hit me. Not surprised that hit me. Jesus Christ. No. Okay, so for that one I have to run behind. Got it. Well. That's 2 for Vic. Chat. Can someone shout out Assassin? Thank you. Early. Man, I'm getting stun after stun on this guy. Sorry, these guys. Plural. There's many of them. They're kind of like a Rat King, but a dragon, you know what I mean? Ooh! Oh. Bye. Whoa. Even their tail's missing. No, I'm itty bitty! No! Oh, fuck. Oh, I'm good. No, I'm not. That's not the end. Oh. Gamer. Oh. Oh. Oh, bye. Ah! What the hell? This dragon turned into a clown! Ugh. Oh! Ah! Holy shit! Laser piss! Laser piss! Laser piss! How did I dodge that just there? That hit me? Oh. Oh, first time I got hit by that. The age of yellow chaos flame it is. We will burn it all down in the flame of ruin. After I defeat this boss. Which I got close to. Small little thing. Notice how the ancient dragon has 5 fingers? That spear you just seen in the ground, the red spear. Long time ago, we talked about Grandsax, the giant dragon in Lanedale Capital. That's his spear. Why Placidusax has that as well? Don't know. Why Grandsax had to have a physical spear when Placidusax uses a lightning one? Don't know. Either way, they're the same. My ear, my die. Oh. Hey, look, there it is again. Whoop. Oh. Oh. Hasn't done that yet. Dang. So by the way, as we're in the middle of fighting this boss, you can see here, these ancient dragons that are in the wall, for some reason, their heads are Placidusax's heads. Now, that might lead you to believe that, like, oh, Placidusax is missing heads, so maybe these are the ones he's missing? Well, no, you can see that there's wings right there, right? The one on the left has a tail and stuff. These are full dragons that are inside of the wall. But for some reason, those ancient dragons don't have the same heads as the other ancient dragons, and instead have the same heads as Placidusax. So maybe the ancient dragons that we're seeing in-game are younger ancient dragons, and those are the old ones that were part of, like, for lack of a better term, Placidusax's litter. Or maybe those are Placidusax's direct lineage. So those are this Placidusax's kids. Don't know. I truly do not know. However, I'll show you in a second after I get finished fighting these guys, because I foolishly walked into this fight. So when we were fighting Bale, we couldn't really see it at the time. Bale's design is kind of a mess. You can see on the back of Bale, there are 2 out of the 3 of Placidusax's heads that are cut off and no longer on its body. You can see the heads in Bale's design, on his model. Prawn. Oh, I drank that way too late. Okay. Bye. Okay. Oh, dang. Again, huh? I'm okay. Oh, dang, did you fucking, I'm alive, though. Okay, well, now I'm not. This is once again one of those bosses where, like, the boss itself is really fucking cool. Man, I wish FromSoft was willing to zoom out the camera. You know what I mean? Like, it's another one, like, I thought the same thing about the flame giant, of the fire giant, I mean. It's like, such a cool boss. Man, I would love it if the camera would just be zoomed out, just like by 10 meters, 5 meters, fucking, or for, like, just quite a bit, just zoom it out. Just zoom out the camera, dude. I can't see the boss. I'm looking at his fucking crusty backside. Let me look at his crusty front side. By zooming the camera out. Not by me changing positions. I don't wanna. That's not good. Oh. Oh. Tail. Becky, can I have some tail? I got you, blue. Oh! Oh! Oh no! Oh no! 0% of soda! Oh no! Ugh. Holy shit. My man! Z, plural. Ooh. Beams! Laser beams! No! Go down! Thank you! I knew you had to be close. There we go. Even despite a blue screen, despite a DVD logo, some other stuff, we got it. So if I wanted to, I could still use the needle despite Placidusax being dead, which feels contradictory because the ancient dragon scales are the reason why this area is like out of time, right? Like the ancient dragon scales are the reason for that. So that seems to imply that this tornado thing is caused by Placidusax's weird timey-wimey bullshit. But for some reason, even though Placidusax is dead, even though they are dead, this area is still weirdly out of time, and even beyond that, or rather, because of that, maybe we can assume that this area being out of time is less because of Placidusax and more because the ancient dragons are buried inside of the ground, causing this area to be in a weird time state. Regardless, we beat it. You can see up here, maybe unrelated, maybe related. This area has the same hexagonal architecture style that the Colossi stuff does, and the people of Rao also used by extension. Maybe related, maybe not. Nothing else about it is anything ringing true of that comparison. But it is something. It is something. I've never noticed this before. Maybe those are dragons? I'm not sure. I think it's just embellishments. So because of that, because this area remaining out of time despite Placidusax's death, we can still use the needle, Miquella's needle. Now, so video game wise, I think the reason why this area is still out of time is so that you can use Miquella's needle still, despite. I think that's the video game reason, but why that's how like lore ties into that, I don't know. Again, the best guess would be ancient dragons are in the ground, so this area remains out of time. But is there any lore why pillars circle this place? Well, those are beastmen corpses inside those, so probably it is for the most honorable and respected beastmen are probably buried surrounding Placidusax, or were buried surrounding Placidusax, rather. But congratulations, guys, we beat Placidusax. Let's read some items, huh? Oop. Remembrance of the Dragon Lord Placidusax. hone into the Erd Tree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the Finger Reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. The Dragon Lord, whose seat lies at the heart of the storm beyond time, is said to have been the Elden Lord in the age before the Erd Tree. Once his god was fled, the Lord continued to await its return. Now, the god being fled, there's like a few theories in relation to that. Let's read the items that we would get from Finger Reader Enya before I divulge, because I don't know if she expounds on any of that. So let's go check a look at the round table hold real quick. Hello, ma'am.
You've done it, I see. What use do you have for me now? I am a finger reader. I will remain here until their dialogue ends and the fingers speak again. Do as you please. Take whatever course seems most worthy to you. Now you may go.
Once again, I mentioned that the fingers are in that upward position, just like Placidusax.
You'd force this tired old crone to work, even now.
Yes.
Harder taskmaster have I never met.
Piercing gravelstone sword containing primeval lightning, a portion of the Dragon Lord's power gained from a remembrance. This weapon commands great power over the paltry mortal dragons of today. Thundercloud form temporarily transforms into a red thundercloud and fly through the air, then plunge down with a lightning-infused blade. Hold to increase the reach of the thundercloud form. I think that means it kills dragons good. Transforms caster into the Dragon Lord to spew golden breath from above. This incantation can be cast while jumping. These are the dying wails of the Dragon Lord, who once dwelled eternally beyond time. Notice how dragon stuff requires faith.
Now, do what you...
So there's a couple theories of what happened to the dragon god and why it abandoned them. The first is that as I've already addressed, The first, as I've already addressed, is the dragon god is the greater will, right? If the dragon god is the greater will, then why did it abandon the dragon god? The age was moving forward. They needed a new host. They chose Marika, and because they had Marika, they no longer needed Placidusax. They abandoned Placidusax to move to Marika. Perhaps the reason why they moved to Marika is because Bale removed the heads of Placidusax, causing Placidusax to lose that war, and in turn lose the favor of the greater will. Or those heads that Placidusax lost was the Queen Marika of Placidusax, making it so that the queen no longer was part of that situation, and now it was only Placidusax, the Elden Lord. Or perhaps when it says that their god fled, maybe when they use the word god, what they mean is god like how Marika is a god, and instead maybe the wife or whatever, wife or husband or whatever, of Placidusax is a separate entity that isn't part of that coiled up dragon, and that separate entity fled. Either way, whether you believe we're talking about an outer god or if we're talking about a land-bound god like Marika, there's another theory that I quite like, but is kind of not very supported. But I like it because I think it's interesting. I like it because I think it's interesting, and it's kind of like a. I like it for the rule of cool rather than the rule of facts. You know what I mean? So another theory that that is kind of like a rule of cool theory. I think this one was from Loki on Twitter. I think he was the one that originally had this one. I like that Beastman freaked out because I fell on their roof. They arose such a clatter. When I die, depending on the amount of runes I have, I think it grows in size and stuff. But when I die, you can see here that little twigs pop up from my death of my runes. These are my runes. And they are personified as little twigs. See that? So the theory is that the finger slaying blade that the Nox used to stab Meter and make her lose contact with the Greater Will is born of a corpse. But those can only come from gods. It has to come from a godlike corpse. I'll explain why that is later a little bit more in detail. But when you look at the twigs and you look at the iconography of the twigs from my death, boy, does it sure kind of look like an Erd tree. Oh, why am I walking? My controller disconnected. My controller died. Oh no! You froze me at the right time. My controller died. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! But yeah, boy does it look like an Erd tree. And I feel as though maybe that's intent. Why can't I use it now? Hello? Okay. Maybe that's intentional, and maybe rather than the Erd tree being like a parasite, or a symbiotic life form or anything like that, that Marika caused by injecting this tree with the greater will juice or whatever. Maybe instead, this is an outer god dying and forming this tree, or maybe this is a god dying and forming this tree. There's a couple things that fight against this theory. The first being that you can see the tree that it was before. There is very obviously a tree that it used to be that it is no longer. The second reason that fights against that theory is oh shoot, it's gone. Oh shoot, it's gone. The second being a new revelation that right here in the Shaman Village, we can see a minor Erd tree that Marika formed. And when we found this, we got a spell, or an incantation rather, that is this. Was it an incantation? Where is it? Oh, there it is. We got this right here. Creates a small illusory Erd tree that continuously restores the HP of nearby allies. Marika bathed the village of her home in gold, knowing full well that there was no one to heal. So I would like to propose another theory. A theory that I haven't heard thus far. And maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe there's something that debunks this theory. I don't know. Maybe. I think that this tree that we're looking at here isn't actually gold. I think that the Erd tree, as it is known, doesn't exist. I think that this is a normal tree that was the Crucible, the tree that was there before, as seen by that big slice of tree. I think that this is the tree that it was before, with an illusionary spell over it to make it look like this. I think the gold bark and branches and leaves that is the Erd tree is not actually the Erd tree, and is instead the old tree, the great old tree that the great old tree that they talk about in the story, but with an incantation over it to make it look like this, that is upheld by Marika herself. I think that's what's happening here. I can think of one thing that could debunk that, but we'll find out later. Let's kill another boss, eh? Oh, death.
Become my blade once more.
Oh, death. Won't you become my blade once more? So that is the rune of destined death made manifest via a blade. And that is a beast man. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Where'd you go? What the fuck? He's over there now. He turned into a fucking Beyblade. I think that's the moment where I'm meant to... Oh, right, it has health drain. I think that's the moment I think that's the moment I'm supposed to use the Blasphemous Claw. Oh yeah, by the way, I guess I can tell you now. The Blasphemous Claw is his. It's his claw. That's how they got the rune of destined death. It's his claw. He put dirt in your eye. Oh, for gore. Oh, yay!
Marika's black blade.
Get parried, nerd. Oh, I looked away for 1 second to stop an alarm. But you can see that he doesn't have much health, right? Oh shit, look at my health. Oh my god. Ah! Oh, look at my health.
Marika's black blade.
Okay, I didn't even get a fucking chance to breathe. Okay.
Marika's black blade.
I think that's the attack that I parry with the thing. Fuck. Where'd you go? There you are. Oh, the fucking drain!
Marika's black blade.
Fuck, I hate that attack. I knew I shouldn't have did the second attack after, and I felt it as I was doing it. But God, I hate that attack specifically, man. Fucking Jesus Christ. Stop. Put time out. No!
Marika's black blade.
Look how there's a little face down there. You see that little face? Look, 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 look. Look, it's a little face. Look at that little face. He's so goofy. He's like winking at you. Look at him. He's so goofy. Look at that goofy little face. Look at him. I'm gonna kill the fuck out of this boss now. I'm gonna kill this boss so intensely that their lore is going to be deleted from the history books. This boss is going to be defeated so intensely that the area surrounding the boss is going to rupture and crack, and the entirety of Farum Azula is going to fall out of the sky. I'm going to defeat this boss so intensely that I'm gonna win. No! Yeah! No! Don't lament! No!
Marika's black blade.
I accidentally hit the lamentation instead of the healing. I accidentally did this instead of healing. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay. Oops. Don't. Tap. Bad dog. Down. Dang. Ah, fuck. Oh.
Marika's black blade.
Okay. Okay. That hit me. Hermie. Oh. Oh. Literally, no! God, I hate that move. God, I hate that move so much. It's so long. Okay, cool. Fuck! Oh yeah, this is something I forgot to point out. Weirdly, the talisman that represents Placidusax has 4 heads. Even though Placidusax himself, or themself rather, has 5 heads. So why it has 4 heads, but they have 5? Don't know. Now that's goofy. I can't time that when this is happening. That's crazy. Oh, hello, virgins. I mean, I'll fucking take it. I don't even care. I'll fucking take it.
Cannot be restored.
Thank you. He's even dying really slow.
The rune of death is unbound. And the lands between are shrouded by death's dark fate. But the flames will also burn the impenetrable thorns. Farewell it is then. You'll be Elden Lord yet.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm aiming for Lord of Frenzied Flame, thank you very much. So welcome to Leyndell, the Ashen capital, not the Golden capital. Us achieving the Rune of Destined Death allows for death to return to the realm in a way that we want. So the way that we desire, while we could bring it about to everybody, we just want to use the Rune of Destined Death in order to kill the Erd Tree. So now the Erd Tree can die, it can fully burn, and the thorns that blocked our path can be unlocked. We will explore this region and stuff soon. We gotta go back to Faramazula, because we weren't done chatting about what was going on in here. So we've got to go back to Malekith the Black Blade and talk a little bit about what we've seen here. Now, firstly, we got the Remembrance. Remembrance of Malekith the Black Blade, hone into the Erd Tree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by a finger reader, alternatively can be used for a great bounty of roots. Malekith was the shadow-bound beast given to his Empyrean. Marika's sole need of her shadow was a vessel to lock away destined death. Even then, she betrayed him. There's evidence of Malekith existing before he was a vessel for destined death. It's not like immediate. There's evidence of that kind of stuff. But in modern day, that is what she used him for storing away destined death and making it so that, that's the only, by the way, I believe that's the only grace that you can teleport to despite never lighting, by the way. But he was the way to hold back destined death and kind of stuff, and that's why he had destined death. It didn't used to be inside of him like he had, where it was like melded inside of him. I think he used to have it on the outside, but then someone stole a shard, so he decided to put the entirety of it within himself. Someone being Ronnie, who stole a shard of the Rune of Destined Death and caused the death of Godwyn. New items can be purchased from the Twin Maiden Husks. Those are items that we can no longer achieve because Leyndell has become the Ashen capital. Meanwhile, she's donezo. She's dead, kid. We can still see stuff. Malekith's Black Blade, which once harbored the power of the Rune of Death, a sad shadow of its former glory. After a fragment of death was stolen on that fateful night, Malekith bound the blade within his own flesh, such that none might ever rob death again. Set free the remnants of destined death, plunging the greatsword into the ground to summon a myriad of blades. In addition to dealing immediate damage, this attack reduces the enemy's maximum HP and continues to wear down HP for a time. A power gleaned from the remembrance of Malekith, caster creates an illusory Black Blade, then leaps forward to deliver a spinning slash that emits a wave of light. Holy shit! This can be followed up with one additional attack. This blade was once imbued with destined death. In addition to dealing damage, it reduces foes' maximum HP and continues to sap their current HP for a short time. Doesn't really give us new information. So who was Malekith? Well, as Ronnie has Blythe, Marika had Malekith. Ronnie was meant to be the one to ascend to the throne, overtaking Marika, the next one in line, but instead, Marika took out the Rune of Destined Death and made it so that no one would die. In turn, inheritance wouldn't happen, and in turn, Ronnie does not become the next queen, and instead takes down the two fingers that ruled over her, causing Blythe to fight within himself, making it so that he's fighting between his creative purpose, which is to be a servant of the greater will, and to keep Ronnie on her task, and against Ronnie, where he wants to not betray her and be on her side. Because she killed her two fingers, Blythe had this battle within himself, gets enraged, doesn't kill her, but attacks us, and then we have to put him down. Malekith is that character, but for Marika. Malekith is theoretically a creation of the greater will, to be a servant to Marika, but because this happened at an older time, before humans were the dominant species, he is instead a beast man, where Blythe is more humanoid. Maybe this is the greater will changing its idea of what he believes is the world, or what they believe is the world that they desire. Maybe it's just, again, because it's the dominant species. We don't know. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the game. But that's the gist. This is where Ronnie has Blythe, Marika had Malekith. And Malekith served that same role, except Marika did become the servant of the greater will and that kind of thing. So Malekith never had that battle within himself. However, he did fail to do the task that she gave him, which was protecting the rune. Malekith, Queen Marika's loyal half-brother, bore a blade imbued with destined death, and there was not one demigod who did not fear him. Champions knew what was at stake. Indeed, that is what made them champions. So, half-brother, it's kind of like how Blythe was raised by Rennala kind of thing. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like by blood half-brother. I don't really know. It just really depends on how you believe Marika was conceived, I guess. Like, was she created by the greater will? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. Same thing. I'll make them. It is cool armor. I wish I had a helmet. But it does not. Oh, it does. Oh, shit. I'm lying to you. Me when I lie to you? This is the armor. That's Mesmer's. Oops. Where's his? Oh, is it down? There it is. This is the armor. Holy shit, I can light roll. Was that a light roll? Am I crazy? No, it was a normal roll. I'm just crazy. God, look at that. Look at that chin peeking through. Take off the cape. Does that change the description? Oops. Nope. I don't know. Hey, it's cool armor. Very dark, but cool. Especially the chest piece. It's kind of very, it's guts. Like, let's be real here. This is Berserk. This is the Berserk art. This is guts. Like, let's be real. This is guts armor from Berserk. You know? Miyazaki consistently and constantly being a huge fan. Always. But it's cool armor. All right. So now you know all the details about that. There's one more thing before we move on. So we talked about this a little bit, but we're going to talk about it more. So right there, you can see that there seems to be an Elden Ring. Now, this is a different form of the Elden Ring that looks vastly different than the Elden Ring that we have in modern day. In fact, let me pull up the Elden Ring that we have in modern day real quick. So you can kind of see a lot of the aspects of what the Elden Ring is, of what the current modern day Elden Ring is, in this older Elden Ring. You can see this right here looks as though this might be the Rune of Destined Death, maybe? Don't know. Maybe it's maybe that's America, because that is America's symbol. But you can see that it is represented here. You can see that this is the anchor ring. There's the anchor ring. It's the same thing. You can see that that has that whole grouping right here, actually. And then it has the Elden Ring in modern day has this big swoop right here. And while this one doesn't have that swoop, it is a little itty bitty right there. Just a lot smaller. But then it also has, on top of that, it has 2 more runes that aren't represented there. 3 more, or 4 more actually, because it's got these 2 as well. So it has 4 more runes that aren't represented there. And of course, the little roots. So this is kind of playing into, is this the primordial crucible? Because it has these roots like a tree. Remember at the very beginning of this playthrough, and I've said it many times, this game, Elden Ring, is a video game about trees. Be that straight up, as in the Erd tree and the minor Erd trees. Be that a family tree, a tree of hierarchy. Even the Elden Ring itself, at one point, mimicked a tree. Elden Ring is a game about trees. But what does it mean by it being here? By the Elden Ring, this primordial version of the Elden Ring existing here means a few things. Firstly, at some point, theoretically, when it left the Ancient Dragon's hands and entered Marika's, a lot of aspects that formed the Elden Ring were trimmed and taken away. And we gained things like, we lost whatever these 4 runes represented, and whatever these roots were, we lost what those represented. We gained more of whatever this represents of, and when Radagon entered the picture, and Marika attempted to shatter the Elden Ring, and achieved it, didn't attempt, did, she shattered it, we gained this lattice pattern of Radagon attempting to repair the Elden Ring. This is Radagon's effect. So, we don't know what these represent. It looks like there might even be 2 more on the edge there. We don't know what these represent. We don't know what those mean. I don't even think we have that one. We don't know what these mean. But it seems like we lost something. We lost multiple aspects that were a thing in the world that are no longer a thing in the world, as well as the roots. So we don't know what those mean. But what it does tell us is that the Placidusax had an Elden Ring. Placidusax was in turn an Elden Lord, the first Elden Lord. Even though Godfrey is listed as the first Elden Lord in history, Placidusax is the first Elden Lord, meaning that Godfrey is the second and Radagon is the third, and we would be the fourth. It adds another chapter onto the Elden Ring, the Elden Lord book, right? We don't know who Placidusax was wed to, who he was the consort to, in order to become the Elden Lord, or if that was even a thing that was necessary at that time. However, when we're fighting Placidusax, as you surely seen and we briefly talked about, Placidusax had 5 heads. Now, even though the talisman once again shows 4 heads, wherever the fuck it is, where the hell is? Oh, there it is. Even though the talisman for some reason shows 4, Placidusax had 5 heads. When they fought Baal, the head 3 out of the 5 heads got cut off by Baal and were attached to Baal's back. 2 out of the 3 of those were attached to Baal's back. The third is missing entirely, assumedly Baal ate it. But some of those heads that Placidusax has are female. Now, that could mean the fact that these heads have different genders means that each of these heads are individual rather than part of one whole, which kind of makes sense. Again, they look like a rat king, right? So theoretically, rather than needing a separate Empyrean queen, Placidusax, as the name Placidusax, could be both queen and king, both queen and Elden Lord, in one being, rather than being 2 separate beings, like Marika and Godfrey, or Marika and Radagon, or us. So like, theoretically, it's like a 2-in-1 deal kind of thing. But we don't know that. And also, I want to clarify, I know I'm pointing out that there's female and male ones. The Empyrean could be a male, the Empyrean could be a female. Their gender is not a thing here. In the DLC, we witness a male become the Empyrean queen. So, like, I'm pointing out the genders not because the genders are separate in the way of, like, the Lady Placidusaxes can only become queen. And, like, I'm pointing it out to say that they're individual, not that it had to work that way necessarily. I just want to clarify. So, they had a Elden Ring. They had a god. In modern day, the Elden Ring is tied to the Greater Will. In turn, the dragon god could be the Greater Will. Alternatively, it could be a different god that fled because of the Greater Will. Alternatively, it could be, again, a dead god that formed the Erd Tree. The list of possibilities there is endless, and because this all took place before history, because this is all prehistoric lore, it's damn near impossible to round it down to one theory. You could watch so many different YouTubers give their crackpot theory about what was going on there, and really with most of the dragon stuff in general, and they'll all come up with different results. What you believe there is really up to you. And that's kind of true for a lot of the prehistory stuff. Anything that is before Marika ascended is pretty up for debate. Like, for me personally, I believe she ascended with Radagon by her side. There are a lot of people that believe that she ascended with Godfrey at her side. So it's like, it's really, a lot of that is all up to debate. Not all of it, there's a lot of fact there, but a lot of it is up to debate. I digress. The dragons had an Elden Ring. In this place, there is also a statue of one woman, or a child, maybe it isn't a woman, maybe it's a child, surrounded by 3 wolves. We could interpret this in 2 different ways. The wolves are preying off of this person and going to eat this person. She doesn't look frightened to me. She doesn't look scared. In turn, I don't think that's what this is depicting. I think it's depicting one woman as part of a wolf pack. They say Malekith is her half-brother. Maybe America was dead-ass raised by wolves. Possible. However, regardless, this is showing a kinship between beast and man. Sure, there was the beast men, but there was also the human, all existing at the same time. Marika had a wolf at her side, the beast man, Malekith. Malekith was her protector. These wolves are protecting this kid. Don't know. But a cool little thing. That all kind of ties it all together for Malekith and Marika's relationship kind of thing. You know, just a cool little thing. Beyond that, the rest of the architecture here is pretty much standard for what we've seen of like the octagonal pillars with the beastmen entombed within. Once again, this whole place is just one big fucking tomb. Someone called Laura. Something I didn't talk about before. Remember we talked about how Baal had the rebellion and he fought Placidusax and so blah blah blah, so on and so forth. If you look out here, all of these are wyvern dragons. These aren't ancient dragons. Every single one of these. Perhaps the reason why there aren't more ancient dragons in the Lands Between, or the reason why the ancient dragons haven't been able to make more ancient dragons or something, is because the drakes, the wyverns, are holding them back. Maybe they aren't able to fly out of this region without being attacked by these drakes. Maybe that's the reason why Placidusax is still there as well. Don't know. So many things, so many ways that we can interpret that, but it's clear that these drakes are here, holding some sort of perimeter, because every single one of these are dragons, and while it is a theory that they're holding an offensive perimeter, defensive perimeter, while it is theories that they are holding defensive perimeter, holding the ancient dragons of Farum Azula back, and in turn the beastmen as well, I think it's pretty confirmed, because I don't think it's a coincidence that they are normal drakes like this. I think it would have been very easy to make them ancient dragons instead, but the developers chose to make them these two winged drakes, fully knowing the difference between them. So I think that these drakes are intentional, and they are holding a perimeter to stop the ancient dragons from advancing. Some ancient dragons are already in the Lands Between. Maybe they were already there before the drakes were here. Don't know. Don't know. Anyways, that's pretty much all I got for Farum Azula. I could check my timeline real quick and see if I missed anything, but we got one more stream of this. I'll do that next stream. If I missed anything, I'll point it out next stream. Because I don't fucking know. Curse you, Baal! I thought that when the... I queened when the Erd Tree burned, you could only start at one point. Am I wild? Maybe it's this. I'll go here. I'll go here. It is a palindrome. Here we go. What time is it? We only have 10 minutes. I'm not going to do all this. I thought we were going to be able to go do the final side quest, but I guess that'll have to wait till next time as well. So for now, unfortunately we didn't finish the game. But that's okay. As I said, when we very first started playing this game, when I said we were going to return, I said it was going to be 3 streams. and it's 3 streams. It could have been 2, but it took me too long to beat that boss. So in turn, it's 3.